All right, so hello everyone. This is Monsef Afqer, and really thank you so much for being here today in this new call on your divine uniqueness. And yeah, I'm really excited because once again we have with us Kasey and Brad Wallis on the show. I always enjoy having them on the show. Our discussion with them, and also I love the energy they are bringing, and also the wisdom and the guidance they share with us, because it's really something that's makes really great difference in our life, and it's something that is really practical that we can use in our daily life and see results. And yeah, I'm really happy to have them back on the show. And today we'll be talking about creating miracles through meditation. So we'll be talking about that. So we know all of us how we have our own practice. Sometimes we commit to it, sometimes not. So we'll talk how this can really help us to create, to enhance our life, our state of being, and create more miracles in our life. So I'm very excited about that. We will have a Q&A as always. So for those of you on the phone, you can raise your hand by pressing *2. And for those of you on the webcast page, you can just type your questions on the question box. All right, so before further ado, Kasey and Brad, I want to welcome you to the show. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Monsef. It's nice to be here. Thanks, everybody. And we always have such a great time on your show.
Didn't have all the electronic problems all the time. So.
Yeah, but it's really fun. Yeah, and yeah, I love seeing you. It's not just listening to you, but also seeing you. It's really, it makes it more fun. So
yeah, it's a lot different than just talking through the telephone, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. It adds that next dimension and that extra frequency for everybody.
They really do exist.
They are not virtual. Wonderful. So as I said, we are talking about meditation and how it can help us enhance our daily life. So so first, before we go into the details, maybe just if we can talk about the basic, for meditation, are there some rules we need to follow, or it's something that depends on each person? Each person can have his or her own practice.
Yeah, meditation is one of those things that it seems like people either really embrace it and have phenomenal success with it, or people feel like they're failures at it and they kind of step away from it. And especially people who are very high energy people, and just sitting still in that cross-legged meditative position is very foreign to them and doesn't blend with their energy. And that can always be challenging. We have wonderful practitioners out there that teach these courses and classes with the intention of helping people, guiding people into this practice, because this is an ancient practice, as you know, and it's been used from civilization to civilization for many, many different reasons. And these practitioners attempt to help everybody, get into this space and get into this practice. And sometimes I think we as human beings feel like if we can't do it just like the teacher is showing us, or just like the instructor is doing it, we're failures, and we really pull ourselves away from it. Support that meditation is nothing more than a form or a discipline that helps you on your inner energy and kind of block out the illusions around us. And, we're told that everything around us is a distractive illusion. And our altered ego mind gets pulled in so many directions because of this illusion, our stress and our anxiety in our lives and the dramas in our lives, and usually all the fear.
Yeah, I don't think, I believe that the biggest hang up with people is the reason they don't do meditation is because they don't feel like they don't have enough time during the day to do it, or they can't seem to block everything out that's going on around them, especially in today's world where everything is go, go, go. Yeah. Your electronic devices are on the go all the time. You practically live by your electronic device. It's set for your alarm. You have mail coming in 24 hours a day. Meditation is one of the practices, especially in the world of spirituality, that needs to become a personal practice, that you need to take personal time.
Meditation has immediate positive effects for people, but it has long-term positive effects for everybody. It's a practice. It's a daily practice.
Yeah.
And things for human beings, they want everything to be instantaneous. You know, they think if they're going to sit down and cross their legs and close their eyes and breathe, they're going to suddenly have this phenomenal out-of-body experience. And if they don't, they're not doing it right.
I'm done.
Yeah, I'm
done.
done. Nothing's happening for me. And these types of things. And any yogi master or meditative master will tell you, it's a long-term practice of quieting the mind. Everybody's teachings and every practitioner's applications towards a spiritual path, we are encouraged to go inward, to align with our soul, to align with our inner beingness, and to align with source within us. And those words sound promising, but we just don't know how to do it. Getting into the practice of doing it is very, very challenging for people who normally are so pulled in so many different directions. And meditation is hands down one of the simplest applications and useful applications. It's useful if you're sick. It's useful if you're stressed, if you're full of anxiety. It's useful when you are trying to find answers, to problems and you can't figure them out. It is useful when you're trying to access your own intuitive gifts and blossom them and allow them to come forward. It's really provides a platform of clarity and healing. Healing is a huge word there, because your mind and your body and your soul and your spirit working cohesively through a thought intention provides all miracles for you. Everybody who has ever began to integrate meditation in their spiritual path will testify to this important practice, that this practice made the difference for them. It helped them get over the blockades, or it helped them really integrate their knowing. Coming out of his brain injury so many years ago, which is the phenomenon that awakened and brought JULIUS, into our lives. And JULIUS was helping Brad with his healing process, his brain healing process and his body healing process, and started talking to Brad about doing meditation. Brad was like, I don't think so, right? I don't think so. Brad was this really, aggressive athlete in his life, and he, the no pain, no gain, if I'm not sweating my guts out, there's no benefit to it. And he wouldn't do it. He kept saying he was going to do it. Of course, you can't lie to JULIUS, and JULIUS was like, whatever. And then finally, he kind of found for yourself, right? You kind of started doing it out in the greenhouse.
Well, what I found was that not just myself, but this is very true, everybody. If you really are trying to make a difference with something, you will find some way to accomplish it. And so what we found was meditation can be done in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can meditate while you're standing in the shower.
You bet.
Mm-hmm.
If you can teach yourself to train your brain, so to speak, to do these things. And that's what our program does, is it, quote, trains your brain.
Yeah.
It brings the miracles back to your life that so many people are missing.
Yeah, it is. Again, it's one of those little things that's so huge, tendency to let slip. They don't have time for it. They'll do other things, but they didn't get time to meditate today. They didn't get time to do their yoga today. They didn't get time to do something, for themselves. And it gets slipped and it gets slipped and it gets slipped and it gets put on the shelf, like any other type of discipline. Through this program that we put together, and this is a really cool program because we have students worldwide that participate with JULIUS on a monthly basis. And over the years, JULIUS provides all kinds of practices and applications for people to do. And this package was actually put together by some of our students that thought these meditations would be so useful for everybody.
Yeah, they handpicked these meditations. In fact, the original package was about twice this big. Yeah. Because of all the different meditations that we have. But we had to cut it down, this program. And so this is what they came up with as our best meditations for you as a listener. Yeah,
but also kind of hitting what we've been talking about, the different types of meditation. What you'll find is some of them are very dialogued. You're really working through a guided meditation or almost like a lecture type of application. Others shorter, others are longer. Some have more breathing involved to them. So kind of trying to find your technique, for yourself, and then use your technique to follow your way through everything. But meditation is such an interesting process. We can almost call it the segue between the physical and the non-physical. Yeah. It's what we can get into actively and through intention to tap into that area between the physical and the non-physical. And everybody on a spiritual path, this is their zone. This is the zone that we choose. This is the zone that we get into.
Yeah, we talk about the zone quite a bit. Mm-hmm. Athletes, we refer to me being involved in athletics very early on in my life and throughout my life. Get into what is referred to as the zone in so many things, and everything else that's going on around them non-existent. I mean, you are just completely focused on what's going on. And this is a form of meditation. Yeah. As they're playing their musical instruments, they'll swear up and down that they've gotten into a zone, and they can hear things that they've never heard before. This is meditation. Right. If your job requires that you ride a train or you have a long drive that you go on every day, a lot of people sleep. They take the time to get caught up on their extra sleep that they take. It's actually a form of meditation because you're actually pulling yourself away from the physical and going to non-physical. Most people would say, oh, well, it's more or less a dream state. But what if we could actually teach you how to focus your attention before you actually close your eyes and take that little power nap, so to speak, and you were able to throw to the universe, and the universe delivered that back to you while you were sleeping. Yeah. This is how powerful meditation is.
Do you do meditations, Monsef, in your practices?
Yes, in the morning, sometimes before I sleep, sometimes not. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the morning, for myself, person. So my meditation comes in active meditation. I go for a walk or I go for a jog usually. Mm-hmm. That's where people ask about my ability to access JULIUS. Yeah. And JULIUS, readily is always standing by for me to integrate into an interactive conversation with Brad or in these programs when people, need them. But sometimes people ask me if I get JULIUS, if I just get them. And for a long time, I really didn't feel like I did. I really felt like I was just kind of a conduit that provided this service, for everybody else. And I really felt like a lot of things were missing for me, because when I'm trans-channeling JULIUS, it would take me a long time, long after the transmission, for me to start to integrate and have some memory about the conversation. So a lot of times I felt like I was missing out on what everybody in the audience was experiencing, or what Brad was experiencing for a long time. And JULIUS kept promising me that if I would allow the integration to come in, that I would be more on top of the current state of and I didn't know what they were talking about. I'm like, what do you mean? I do allow the transmission to come in. And they said, no. You need to work on getting away from the distraction and things like that. So as I started working this form of meditation for myself, get active downloads and utilize them kind of right away. I come back and say, okay, I've got our next course and I've got our next class. And, JULIUS was talking to me. So meditation is that, opening those channels, opening up those pathways for your higher self to come through, for your guides to come through, for loved ones to come through, your wisdom, the inward wisdom. It's just, it's such a subtle practice for so many people, but it is very powerful. Other people do have extraordinarily powerful experiences in meditation all the time. And if that's the truth for you, then that's wonderful. But we don't want that to discourage the average person from trying meditation or integrating meditation in their daily practices, thinking it's not going to benefit them if they're not having this burning bush, phenomenon every time they close their eyes. Meditation can be used for blood pressure. Daily practice of meditation calms your mind, which is the cause for any form of physical reactiveness that's out of balance. So anything from migraine headaches to high blood pressure to any type of chronic conditions that we have developed, any type of autoimmune deficiencies that we have developed, all types of digestion problems that we have developed, things that have all to do with stress and anxiety levels. This is the best form of medicine, away from medicine, to calm us down, and our bodies respond to this state of consciousness or this state of being.
We also know that, or JULIUS has informed us, that 21 days of anything,
it's a reset,
is a reprogram or a reset for the human body. So in other words, if you meditate, if you do a 21-day program of meditation, you can reset yourself to that active programming that's going on, but it takes 21 days.
Yeah, it's a pattern. Yeah, it's a pattern. It's the sacred geometry of the number 3 and the number 7, of course. And it's a process of resetting your subconscious mind. So any type of a program that's getting you out of a bad habit or into a good habit, this is generally the process that everybody asks you to do, is to put in a minimum of a 21-day process to really shift a pattern for you, or to get into a healthful pattern for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very wonderful. And as you said, meditation can really be used from maybe to calm down ourselves, to reach a peaceful state, and also to reach some advanced state, connect with other beings. But there is one thing, especially maybe in the beginning, is when we have this really magnificent experience, we experience it once in a practice. After that, what happens is we try so hard to have this experience happen again. So we start clinging to it, and we don't allow the meditation to be organic. And we think that this is we are doing something wrong when it doesn't happen.
Right. That's the altered ego human component of expectations. And expectations are in alignment with judgment and fear. That is the altered ego mind. Unfortunately, we have a tendency to bring the altered ego right into the playing field of everything that our soul and our spirit is trying to do. It's like the invasive neighbor, okay? That's just obnoxious, that just shows up when the party's going on, or wants to return, you know, the tractor in the middle of your mother's birthday party. You know, it's just the invasive character. Recognizing this is part of mastering the process, and that is a truth. So the good news is, when you feel these expectations creeping up on you and discouraging you, that's your window of opportunity to realize that you really need to practice even more. What you're practicing isn't to achieve the full out-of-body state. What you're practicing is calming the altered ego mind. That's what you're doing. The byproduct will be phenomenal as you master that. That's what you're working on. As you work to love that altered ego mind and gently send him back across the street or back next door and say, no, we're having a party right now and it's not appropriate for you to be here. And then you can quickly get back to the party and have a really good time. That's when all these phenomenal things will take place, and they will. Byproduct of meditation. But the minute you start judging yourself, practice, or having expectations, that is what's going to prevent you from having those phenomenal experiences. So you can use this thought, this intelligent wisdom that we provide for you, and say, right now in this moment, when I'm feeling my frustration and I'm having expectations and I am discouraged because I am not experiencing something, is the very red flag to indicate to me that I need more of this practice, this peaceful practice, and to look at it as nothing more form of calming your mind away from altered ego. That's what your goal should be. It's just like a healthful eating practice, okay? Healthful eating is going to get your body back into balance and make you feel healthy. A natural byproduct is probably weight loss. But you know that if everybody goes into an eating program and their only goal is to lose weight, it always fails. It always fails because they have those expectations, where if they go into an eating program and welcome the healthful benefits of it, the natural byproduct is the weight loss. And that is the approach that we take with meditation. The intention, full balance of the altered ego mind moving out of the way, calming the stress and the anxiety, and then the natural byproducts will be these phenomenal occurrences. But even if you get what you would consider to be a phenomenal occurrence at, you know, a close proximity of time that you lay out for yourself, reap the rewards of that calming state. And then what's interesting is that calming state will get you away from your expectations. Weird kind of little paradox that really takes care of itself, but it's really taking care of you. It's taking care of you. If you have been doing programs and you've been following teachings and you've been doing practices and you have not been meditating and you have been finding holes in these practices, things that aren't working for you, or some inconsistency, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, this could be your answer, because you have to find an energy consistency when you are opening yourself up to any type of a spiritual practice. And this is what's going to provide for you that balance that even keel energy frequency. So any practice that you're desiring or that you're following is going to be more cohesive for you on a consistent manner. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it really does. And yeah, like you said, it's really a matter of practice. So the more we practice it, the more we it will be easier for us to experience this and go with this flow and drop our expectations. So yeah, that was really amazing. Thank you. Kasey and Brad, I would love also to get some questions from the audience.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so just reminders for everyone. If you are on the phone, you can raise your hand by pressing *2 to ask your question. And for those of you on the webcast page, you can just type in your questions on the question box. All right, let's start with the webcast. We have Sue. Julius, I am not clear about what I want to do in life, and I don't take actions. How do I need to meditate or do it better in order to know, feel, and understand truth and clarity? Thank you.
The first thing that we want to tell you is it's not an issue of better judgment for yourself. What you are trying to find is the most beneficial, cohesive application for you, for clarity. You are so afraid that you cannot find what it is you would like to do, that fear is the very article that is blocking the information for coming in. You're so worried that you can't get it, that worry is blocking it from coming in, okay? So, meditations, your intention for meditation is nothing more than to calm yourself down. That's your agenda. You've got to take your agenda off the table. You've got to stop going into meditation with an agenda that this is going to come through and this is going to come through and I'm going to be able to fix this, because you're ruining the energy. Okay? It's just like coming into any kind of a relationship. If you step up into a relationship and you tell the person, well, this is what I expect from you, by the end of the evening, that person's going to take a run. Instead of you saying, I really just want to enjoy your company. I want to allow and see what's going to unfold, and then you're going to benefit from the relationship. Meditations are more or less powerful for people also at different times of the day. And just like exercise and just like eating patterns, you need to find which time of the day is the best in balance with your mind and with your soul. You have to find a time to meditate when you are feeling the least pressure on yourself and the least. Some people cannot meditate in the mornings efficiently because they're so rushed in the morning with all of the things they got to do that they're actually distracted by that pressure when they're trying to meditate. So meditation doesn't work really well for them in the morning. Some people have that problem at night. They feel like they're bombarded at night with their husbands and their children and their wives and all the programming, and that's feeling too rushed. It's during the day. You have to find a calm time for you. So some people like to meditate kind of mid-morning, after the morning rush has taken place, before lunch occurs, a window of about 15 minutes where you can shut everything else out and take that pressure off of you. So we would say some of the key components for you is get your agenda off the table. Your only agenda for meditation is to calm yourself. That's it. Find the right time for you when you are not bombarded with the preoccupation of not having the time to do this. Those two things are really, really working against you. It's like trying to force something to happen. It just doesn't. Okay? So those are the things that we would encourage you to try.
Yeah, absolutely. That's That's very powerful because what you said is really interesting, because sometimes when we feel that pressure, when we feel how to say, we have many distractions and we want to calm down, so we try to meditate, but we feel unable to do that. But what you said is look for those times that are maybe there are no distraction, and we feel less stressful. And I think that way, this meditation, this practice will help us to maybe help us to move maybe calmly and peacefully through those parts of the days when we feel maybe stressful and so much distracted. Yeah.
I was going to say, you notice that in the answer that she was giving, that she made the comment 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And most people would say, what do you mean only 15 minutes? If we can get you to just take 15 minutes out of your busy schedule to refocus yourself and reprogram yourself, find that it's going to completely change everything else that's going on in your day. And it will calm you down and help to train you into being able not to be so stressed about everything else that's going on in your life that has you so stressed.
Yeah, some people love to meditate for longer. Sometimes it's just a few minutes, 10, 15 minutes to start to get into the practice. But the other thing that we want to support is this. To immediately calm you, to immediately get you into a state where the meditation is going to be of the greatest benefit to you, there's a little thing that you can do, and it's called breathing practices. In this program, we have included pranayama breathing practices. And these are all different formats of techniques of breathing that get you focused on different inhalation patterns and different exhalation patterns. Some of them are really uncomfortable. Some of them are really strange. And what they're doing is they're bringing your focus to your breath, because you can't live without your breath. And so it's an immediate hit of getting you focused, and the breathing starts to calm you down, and then you can segue right into your meditation. So it's almost that really powerful hit to shift meditative state. And of course, we have included that for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, absolutely. Breathing is very powerful and really help us to become centered. And it's easy to do, and it doesn't take long. It's very quick, and it's so powerful.
Yeah. It's an immediate stress relief. An immediate stress relief.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. So thank you, Sue, for your question. And let's take another one. We have Judy. Julius, is there a way to meditate with my inner child that feels abandoned? What do I do? Thank you.
Your inner child, Master, we support is just your emotions. It's just your emotions. It's your emotions that want to be recognized and want to be honored and want to be displayed. They want to be taken out, and they want you to show them off. They don't want you to be ashamed of them. They don't want you to be embarrassed by them, and they don't want you to judge them. They don't want you to tell them that some of them are good or some of them are bad. This is what your inner child is, your emotions. And through trauma and painful events in people's lives, they have a tendency to stifle their emotions or their inner child. It's a protective layer for them so that they don't have to go through the trauma and the pain again. And this is where the disconnect from your inner child begins. It can sometimes begin in childhood itself, when adults or parenting will require you to suddenly grow up or suddenly stop crying or suddenly start handling things differently and not allowing the childish process for you to be expressed or be experienced any longer. And those are the emotions. That's when human beings start to try to control their emotions. And control is from fear. Control is from fear. So throughout life, if you have been somebody who has disconnected from your emotions for whatever reason, you really feel a huge disconnect in your life. You're cut off. You're cut off from really deep relationships. You're cut off from real fulfillment experiences. You're cut off from joyous applications, and you can't figure out what's missing. And everybody says, oh, well, you need to reconnect with your inner child. And we say that is a truth. But to reintroduce yourself back to your emotions is a delicate process. It's a very intense process for most people, and it must be dealt with very delicately and very honorably. And through meditations, you can help yourself in a safe place these emotions. So through meditation processes, you can start to choose an emotion for yourself and invite that emotion to come in, and simply spend 10 or 15 minutes in a particular state of emotion of choice and get to know it.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of human beings are even aware of all the emotions that they have inside their body. Mm-hmm. They have just learned to completely stifle them. Yeah. The profound experiences that meditation brings out in your human experience is the fact that bring forth emotions that were unrecognizable before. Yeah. In fact, it's one of those processes that actually scares a lot of people, mm-hmm. because you're starting to recognize things that you were told very early on in life supposed to be that way. You weren't supposed to show those things. You weren't supposed to let everybody else know about those things. Emotions are a very touchy, tricky, fabulous, wonderful experience.
It's what makes everything an experience. It is.
And just like a child, your inner child, that child starts to grow and starts to learn things. An experience for everyone. Everyone who's involved.
The types of meditations that we recommend for connecting with your inner child to begin with are guided meditations. This is a meditation that you're listening to where through voice interaction, you're being guided through a visualization suggestion. And in this visualization suggestion, you allow your own imagination to take hold and begin to pull together an experience that's being guided by the practitioner. And this will help connect you with your emotions. You'll start to have an emotional response to the suggestion that's being played out in front of you. As you master starting to reconnect with your inner child, you'll be able to start to go into more silent meditative states and learn to access your emotions in more of a silent, integrated state. But it's almost impossible for those who are disconnected from their inner child to find real success in complete silent meditation. We always encourage the guided meditations first, finding the ones that really initiate or inspire an emotional response for you, and let that emotion come out. That's what we would recommend.
Yeah, I hope we didn't sound like we beat that one to death, but that's actually a fabulous question that a lot of people probably have at some point in their life is, what about my inner child?
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really loved your answer, because when we need to work on our, not to work on, but it's to release our emotions and to heal them, we really need to have like a deep level of vulnerability, and for this we need to create this safe space, and meditations is really a great way to do that. So
that's actually a fabulous comment, that everybody actually needs in their life is a safe space.
Yeah.
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 Everyone needs a safe space that they can go to.
The other thing that we would love to say, if we can really quickly for Judy and for everybody, is another way to access emotions is through sound.
Yeah.
To be true, through music and through poetry that really move us. And so many times practitioners will set up, or people will set up chimes while they're meditating, or sound bowls, you know, a recording of sound bowls, you know, while they're meditating. And this vibration will help activate your emotions and release your emotions. So don't be afraid to integrate a few fantastic natural components that you are, because you are sound vibration, and use those during your meditative practices as well. Scent can also activate emotions. So sometimes that's where the incense come in, or the aromatherapy comes in, but sound and scent can really help bring up those emotions for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. And yeah, Judy, thank you so much for your question. Really a great question. Let's take another one. Our audience on the phones are quiet today. So let's take another one from the webcast. Yeah, we have one from Kim from Algona. How does the energy of the moon and other planets affect our ability to meditate? Are there times that will be more difficult to meditate?
Fantastic.
Great question.
Fantastic.
Because we do know that the energy frequency of so many objects that exist within our universe affect everything else that goes on throughout the universe.
Wow, Kim, thank you. Thank you for your wisdoms and your intelligence with that question, and honoring all of the practitioners out there with that question.
Right.
You are absolutely correct. The magnetic pull from your solar system, your solstice seasons.
Well, the 4 seasons.
Yes, the 4 seasons of the earth, and also different time periods dramatically affect how your mind and how your imaginative state and how your soul responds and works. This, of course, is true in your waking state. This is true. Your different moods are affected by the full moon and the partial moon and the summer and the winter and the fall and the spring. You are so hitting something so vital here on the head of the nail. We want you to do these things. We want you to utilize different meditative techniques in all of these different time suggestions. Sometimes really, really late at night with the moon in front of you. Sometimes during the day, the sun salutations, where you're coming up with the sun or you are setting with the sun. Getting up on a mountain, different elevations dramatically affect you, from the ocean floor, you know, pulling you and pushing you up to the mountains where you really are feeling much lighter because the oxygen is thinner. Deep into the forests and out into the arid desert. Use your guidance. You will be pulled to these different experiences, and by using your own inner wisdom, you're going to find just the right combinations. But it also is quite inspiring to know that the combinations are quite endless.
Yes. Noticed in all of the answers, each of these all come back to just how powerful of a being you are.
You bet.
If you can start recognizing all of these different things that go on in your life that the universe has at your disposal, that you've gifted yourself, then you soon start to recognize that you are this powerful being that has everything around you that you can use to create whatever it is that you want in your life.
Yeah.
And you start looking at things differently.
Yeah. Now, Kim makes it sound, and we hope this is true, that Kim, you are a master at meditation, and you truly are a master. of being sensitive to energy frequency and to all of the seasons and all of spectacular physical and non-physical things that are surrounding you. So you are a highly sensitive being, and we truly honor and respect that. For other listeners who may be feeling very beginning level and maybe feeling a little disconnected and a little sad because they haven't refined those techniques, start with these programs and you will build up your abilities. You will become sensitive. You will be able to read. You will be able to align. But you have to start somewhere. Meditations in these programs are all guided. They're guided meditations, and they hit every single subject matter pertinent to the human experience. So any area that you're feeling lack in, based on the subject matter, looking at the package, that's where you begin. So these meditations don't have to be followed in any particular order. We ask you to go to the one that is most significant or pings you first, and then work your way from there. And just like we said, integrating, perhaps you're going to listen to the whole meditation and perhaps not. Perhaps you're just going to listen to a shortened version of it. Could be in the day, could be at the night, could be morning, could be afternoon, could be different places on the earth ship. And this is where you're going to develop your skills of your spiritual journey.
Wonderful. Thank you. And thank you, Kim, for your question. Really wonderful. Yeah, so we can maybe talk about the details about the program now. And after that, we take more questions. So it's okay. Yeah. So it's a 21-day program with the meditations.
Yeah. It's got a great sales page, so I want to tell everybody, I'm not going to read it word for word because there's a lot of information in here.
Yeah.
But you need to take the time to read.
Yeah.
Take the time to just read what this whole package has, that it all offers. It's a 21-day experience for you in your life. As we've talked about, healing, abundance, loving relationships, stopping the aging process, how to communicate with angels and guides, how to access the powerful space of the void. In fact, most people don't even understand that there is a void.
Right.
And that one is an absolutely mind-blowing experience, that meditation. Achieving a state of calm and a peaceful mind, and having predominant emotions of joy, peace, and fulfillment. This package is loaded with different types. Of course, we have an introduction module that you listen to, and it gives you a whole overview of the package, and we explain to you how to get yourself into a receptive state to experience. And we try to explain to you what you're going to experience.
Yeah.
Of course, we believe everyone experiences things differently because that's the way it should be.
Yes.
But there is a class, what I refer to as a classroom principle, that everyone will experience something.
Right.
Who experiences it, and that's what we're trying to do, is trying to get you to be able to recognize what you're actually going to be feeling or experiencing.
Yeah, I want to say something really quickly about this program. So the first module is a really interesting meditation, and it's called a bravery meditation. And we had, of all the feedback that we get from this program, everybody's favorite meditations is the bravery meditation. And this comes into alignment with so many things in people's lives. You know, when people decide to traverse on a spiritual journey, it takes bravery.
Yeah.
Bravery to make changes. It takes bravery to stand up to old ways that you aren't aligned with anymore. It takes bravery to go inward into this thing called the soul that you may not know. What's going to happen to me? Am I going to lose my friends? Am I going to get really weird? What am I going to have to do? And you have to be brave. You have to be brave. This meditation is so cool because Julius informs us how brave we are us through this meditation to access our bravery. And so it's appropriate that the students put that meditation in this program first. Get brave, take a chance, try it out. And some people tell us that the whole package, just the bravery meditation is the one that they use. Or others tell us that there's other, real favorites in here. But I wanted to point that out because so many people are like, what's a bravery meditation? I'm like, well, you have to listen to it, but it's setting the platform for your changes.
Yeah.
And it's your little kind of encouragement, to yourself to be brave. Be big, be brave. So we love that meditation. Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to read all 21 of them.
Right.
Of course.
Okay.
Right.
But I am going to say there are some in here. Sleep. Okay. There's ones to help you with the holidays.
Yeah. The stress of the holidays.
We know how stressful the holidays can be on people. The circumstantial beings.
Yeah. How do you connect with the little beings
that
are
beings that
living
exist
around you? Yeah.
A lot of these meditations you can listen to and you can go, wow, I didn't even know that there was something like that out there. We have covered so many different programs that are even in our own library of classes that we teach. But what we also put in as part of the package was a 5-week breathing program.
Yeah, so this is a program.
This one alone is enough to just.
This is a program within a program.
Yeah, it's a program within a program. 5 weeks of learning how to breathe.
Yeah. So this is different breathing techniques, and you're encouraged to try each technique for at least a week each. Okay. And these are some of the things that we were talking about as far as, practices to bring you into your extreme focus, pinpoint focus, and to de-stress you. That program alone could be sold as a practice.
Right. But we even threw in 2 more breathing meditation along with it.
Okay.
So there's 3 different meditations.
Yeah.
And the 5-week program.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that the program does have an instructional module, so you'll understand what you're getting into, why you're doing these strange breathing techniques. One of them has you kind of looking like a lion with your mouth wide open and your tongue hanging out, and you're like, what? And we encourage everybody to come into these practices with a sense of humor, with a broad mind, with a smile on your face, and know that they're useful. They aren't just made up. These are ancient breathing practices. We want to make that recognition. These are passed down through cultures and civilizations, thousands and thousands and thousands of years old. We know that this is true. They're still being used today, and there's a reason for that.
Right.
And so even if you just did the breathing, it's crazy. One of the other really, really powerful meditations is releasing that Kundalini energy.
Kundalini, right? And a lot of people talk about Kundalini, and this meditation explains to you where Kundalini is, explains to you how to activate Kundalini and all of those dormant parts of your body that very seldom ever get any use. So this is an absolutely fabulous package. Of so many different meditations. People are going to say, geez, I never in the world thought I could have that many different types of meditations in your life. And this is what I'm talking about. Of your life, you can have a new meditation.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
To create something new in your life. It doesn't have to be the same thing over and over and over again. People always believe you've got to do the same thing every day over and over, and that's the way it's supposed to be. No, we're giving you 21 days. We're giving you a 5-week breathing program, and the other breathing exercises that go along with it through the meditations and the Kundalini.
The other thing that we wanted to point out that we had customers and students point out to us, and this is kind of cool too. A lot of us have people in our lives that we're trying to help. Maybe they're sick. Maybe they're in a challenging situation, domestically. Sometimes our children, are really having struggles. Maybe we're feeling disconnected with our children. They've wandered off a little bit in their minds and what they're doing. And meditation is a very, very simple and very, very powerful energy of connectiveness. And so sometimes we can take a very simple little meditation and do it. Do it with our partners. Do it with our dear friends. The bravery meditation for our children, definitely. Let's sit down and let's do the little bravery meditation before you go to bed at night, or something like that. It's a very simple, it's a non-threatening application that is subconsciously very, very powerful for people who begin to use meditation. It's just a way for them to focus their thoughts and integrate their soul into everything that's going on in their lives. And let's face it, everybody is so distracted. Everybody is so distracted. That's what causes all of the problems in our lives. And just these little inserts of these little practices here and there. You may listen to this program and go, gosh, I know just the right person who should be doing this meditation. Well, go do it with them. Take your little module link with you. Go to their house.
I was going to say, or if you know somebody that can benefit from the use of a meditation in their life, meditation with you and go sit down with them and take a few minutes and say, hey, look, we need to do this. Do it together. Get a group of people together.
Right.
Start a practice to where you get all these people together and you just start working on doing meditations in your lives and sit down and talk about it.
To their end of physical life experience. We had a student and a person who got this program, and she's a volunteer for hospice. So hospice here in the U.S. is a program of volunteers that get together, that go into the home of somebody who is terminally ill and is coming to the end of their physical life experience. And these people have been trained, to be very calming and reassuring to these people. And we had a student tell us that she took some of these meditations during her hospice visitations and did some of these meditations with these terminally ill people. And
it changed.
It changed them. It calmed them down. It helped them transition. She felt it helped them transition with a more open mind and far less fear in their lives. And this was something completely foreign to the families. This wasn't anything that the family had ever even thought about doing. And she utilized this package hospice program. We had another student tell us, same thing, that she has a very dear friend who's basically homebound and cannot move. She's got so many chronic conditions and riddled with pain in her body, and she just can't get up and she can't do things. And she would go and just take some of these meditations, and they do a couple of, and this woman started to shift and started to change. It was amazing how she was able to finally, her attitude changed, her perspective changed. Sports figures have used meditation, again, like Brad said, to prep themselves before they go into, their athletic, event and things that they're doing, winding you down at night, waking you up in the morning. Use your imagination, but this is something that you do with nothing other than your intention. You don't need anything except your intention. And you can't get something more powerful than this just from an intention. And so we want to encourage everybody to use their own imagination and figure out ways to make this useful for you or for others in your life.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I really love the program because it's really a complete program. So it has everything we need. build our practice, to do our practice and to learn it with the breathing program and also the 21-day with the meditation practices. It's in one hand, like we will have this, we can build our new pattern like during this 21 days. And also, like as you said, like when we practice many different kind of meditations, after that we can maybe create our own one. And
Right.
yeah, so this is what's how I did it. I tried many different techniques, and then I tried to shape my own practice and the one that I feel more comfortable with. And yeah, so really thank you.
It's also a way, you know, to deepen the intimacy between people. It's a very simple practice. It's a very simple thing that brings people together. You know, again, in our really busy world, sometimes partners can feel, you know, a little disconnected,
huge distraction,
a little pulled apart from each other. Yeah. And it's interesting if you kind of get into a practice, maybe every night before you go to bed or something in the morning where, you know, for 15 or 20 minutes, you share a likened thought, you know, meditation
while you're drinking your coffee or your morning tea.
Right.
You know?
And then sharing your experience with each other about what you experienced during that meditation. You'll be amazed at what can open up a conversation for you.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. It really brings like more intimacy in our relationships. And also, like you said just a little bit earlier, it's when we do it with our partner or in a group, it really brings this how to say, this courage or bravery. So we feel more confident to do it. Not like we are doing it alone. So doing it with partner or group, it's something that is really really helpful. So yeah, so Kasey and Brad, really thank you so much. Thank you for that program. Yeah, I'm very honored to offer it to our audience. And yeah, I always love your message and your teaching. It's something that's really, really powerful. I used some of your programs, and really the information that you bring, it's how to say, maybe the words can't describe it well, but it's really something it gives you this understanding of the truth of who we are, and also how to shift our reality into what we really want. And with the meditation, it's just really, really great opportunity to move into that state. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate you for saying that.
Yeah. Thank you, Monsef. And we encourage your listeners to give themselves a chance. Give yourself a try for the meditations. Try it out. Don't judge yourself. Play with it. Have fun with it. Integrate it. And just like Monsef, use it as just a doorway that's opened up for you, and go anywhere you choose. That's the rule, is that there is no rule. It's whatever suits you for who you are and who you are intuitively drawn to be.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. And yeah, so again, everyone, the link is yourdivineuniqueness.com/Julius and number 9, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Julius9, JULIUS and number 9. Or you can simply click on the special offer button on the webcast or the replay page. All right. Wonderful.
Thanks, Monsef.
Thank you. We still have some time. Do we take some more questions? Maybe.
Sure. Absolutely.
Sure. Okay, of course. Okay, so we have let's invite our first caller from Sagino. Phone number ending with 1685.
Hello, this is Mary. Hi, thanks for taking my call.
Welcome, Mary. You're welcome. What is your question?
I am about to open a meditation and yoga studio in my area. And my question is there one message, one most important message that I should deliver to my students about meditating and bringing it into their life?
Yes, that it will feed their empowerment, Master. Their empowerment. And that's what every soul needs on this earth ship, to create the conscious change that everyone is desiring. feed their empowerment. It is the strongest message, and it is the greatest gift that you can be providing for this organization, for this platform. It gives them and honors their value. They want to know what's in it for them. They're going to access their empowerment. They're going to become the empowered beings that they have ever and always desired to be, and their lives will change. They will change. Does that help you?
Yes, very much. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
With love.
Thank you, Monza.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Wonderful. All right, let's. We have a feedback from first from Judy, who asked about. She asked before about doing meditation with her inner child. So she said, "Thank you so much. You also activated my emotions, guys. Priceless guidance. Thank you from my heart."
Wonderful.
Beautiful. And we have a question from Jenny from Florida. Is it possible to increase the joy feeling in the heart area through meditation, and how? Thank you.
It is, Master. Anytime that you focus, okay, you take your mind's eye and you can pinpoint focus energy into any space that you choose, towards any thought that you choose, towards any person that you choose, or towards the whole universe or galaxy if you choose. This is how powerful thoughts are. Your thoughts create everything. They create everything in your life. So where you direct your thoughts is exactly where that energy goes in a concentrated form, especially when you're making that request.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Right? So all you need to do through these dialogues of these meditations is, during your meditation, Master, you focus light right around your heart space. As you're listening to these words, or as you're beginning to integrate these words with yourself, you put that light right around your heart space. So you are just making a laser beam focus of thought. You are desired to heal, or to open up, or to access and platform completely. It's the same thing with your breathing exercises. So even though your breathing is taking place up in here in your head and in your face and in your nostril and the back of your throat, you can still, during these breathing processes in your mind's eye, create that light around your chest and your heart space, and you're going to focus the powerful intention of that oxygen penetration, allowing that blood flow to go to that heart space, again, healing it, opening it, and platforming the authenticity of it. So, Master, anytime that you are feeling the need for a healing or an expression from any part of who you are, all you have to do is focus a light into that area, and you will deliver a concentrated formation of energy, intention to that space.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. And yeah, thank you, Jenny. Really beautiful question. We have another feedback from Mary. Thank you, JULIUS. Your answers through others answered my questions. Priceless insights. Everything is a relationship, even our purpose and work. This pressure just doesn't work. Thank you, beautiful. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Let's take another one. We have Sarah. She's asking, how does nature work? Is it in a meditation kind of state? I recently received an information from a tree that they are capable to channel very high vibrations, even the 12th. Was this real?
That's true.
Or am I imagining? Thank you.
No, it's absolutely real. You are absolutely correct, Master. Anything that has the ability to feel an emotion has a soul. And if you're even questioning that, we can tell you that everything is energy. Everything physical is energy. So everything has a spirit to it.
Yeah.
Not everything has a soul, but everything has a spirit. And the spirit comes off as bands of energy frequency, and they absolutely connect with you. They absolutely do. The wonderful thing about nature and being in nature is nature holds no judgment. Judgment. And this is an extraordinary pure state of energy, honest state of energy, allowing state of energy. So if you integrate your energy, thought, intention in these powerful areas and in these powerful environments, you absolutely will receive information. You absolutely will, especially if you can take out of your mind judgment to the process and understand that spiritual receivership is universal all the way across the galaxies into the different dimensions on the different realms. In your mind enough, the opportunities are endless. We encourage everybody to approach their spiritual practices from this vantage point. This is the open-minded state. This is the open heart state. And this is the gossamer thread connectivity of you being source.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. And yeah, we have a feedback from Sue. I missed this before. I just found it. She's the I think the first one. I read her question. She asked about she doesn't know what to do in life, and if meditation will help her. So she said, "Thank you. Absolutely true. I put a lot of pressure on that topic, and gosh, it hurts. You rock as usual. Blessings and love. Thank you infinitely."
You rock.
All right. We have a question from Karen from Kokona, I think. My brain and head tingle immensely while meditating. What is your explanation for these amazing feelings?
Good question. And very, very interesting experience that you're having, Master. So we would tell you that more than likely you are physically experiencing the release of your altered ego mind from yourself. That's what we would tell you. So this is an actualized phenomenon. And what you're experiencing is the energy shifting out of the low vibration of the altered ego mind into the higher vibrations of your soul. It's the shifting of perspective that you are feeling. And this is a highly sensitized state of being. We want to make sure that we provide for you a suggestion since you are having this process. Into meditation, we want you to outwardly make the suggestion that the extraordinary physical experiences that you are about to receive be gentle for you, be calming for you, be nurturing for you, and be expanding for you. This way, you will know that nothing will feel uncomfortable, nothing will feel disruptive for you, and everything will support your expansive experience. Know that you have the power to make that suggestion, and it will be integrated to you in a place that is acceptable to you. Some people have very powerful physical shifts when they do spiritual practices, and they're uncomfortable for them. They can get headaches, and they can get stomach aches, and they can get backaches. And they're always asking us what it is that they can do. And we say, make a suggestion that this be soft, that this be gentle for you, and it will work. Creator of your experience in every experience that you are having. Never feel helpless and never feel like you are not the captain of your ship. By just having this knowing will carry you into every crazy, wonderful thing that you're going to experience with peace and with joy and with an open heart.
Beautiful. Thank you for your guidance. And also thank you, Karen, for your question. Kasey and Brad, can we take maybe one more question?
Sure.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, we have one from Farah. She said, I am meditating and clearing my field and my life for so long, and I feel better and I am healing. But it takes so long, especially for me. How do I go more rapidly and surely keep my good feeling vibes and also be proactive?
Okay.
Isn't that a pretty standard human experience? Is let's get it done faster. Let's get it done faster. Let's get it done faster.
Yep.
Well, let's help you get it done faster.
Right. So getting back to the original dialogue to this beautiful interview for you, Master, is to get that expectation off the table, please. That could be the very thing that's keeping it slow for you.
Right.
We want to
All
tell
that
you this.
expectation.
We want to tell you this. There is no time. There is no time, okay? It's not taking you a long time. It's not taking you a fast time. There is no time. Time is eternal when it comes to your soul. You cannot rush an experience. And if you try to rush it, you're going to kill it. You have to allow the experience to come to you, knowing that it is coming to you in the perfect rate, at the perfect time for your ability to integrate. That is a truth. And you need to embrace this truth, Master, and you need to honor this truth, Master. It's the only way for you to be getting the benefits from it that you are, and for you to be able to make any integrated changes that you desire later on. Right now, Master, you are in receivership at your perfect rate. Never going to run out. You're never going to be done with your journey. Your soul is eternal and you're never going to finish. So get your time off the table and get your expectations off the table. Do you know special it is that you can do this at all compared to how so many people out there who are just coming into it and they can't do it. They would look to you, be my master, be my master, be my teacher, show me how to do this. Okay? Your altered ego is what is causing this perspective for you. Get it off the table. It doesn't belong in the meditation room. It doesn't belong there. Allowing you the savoring process, the absorption process, the blending process, the melting process, the expanding process, and it's coming to you at your perfect rate of speed. You have to trust it. You have to trust it. The more it may shift for you into a little bit faster process. But if it doesn't, you have to trust that too, Master. It's just appropriate for you. It's appropriate for you. So please love it, embrace it, honor it like we do for you. We honor you. We love you. We embrace you slow, steady, and with security and with support. You are the master of your universe.
Yeah, that's really powerful. I really love your answer and the guidance you gave, Farah, because like we have this feeling that's like to whichever level we reach, even if really advanced, we have this that we feel maybe we are less than others, we have less experience than others, but in fact we are, as you said, we are truly our master of our reality, and we create this. And like this comparison, it's, as you said, it's just the ego, like keeping us from really living this wonderful experience that we are having right now. And is really a great one and wonderful experience that we can enjoy and like live fully.
Yeah, you have to trust the process. You know, there's only so much we as human beings can fight against. We fight, we struggle, we stress, we force.
I know that I'm a very patient person.
Oh, yeah. Brad is such a great example. Yeah, but that is the perfect example, because it's when you stop trying to force that the calm comes. Yeah. You can't force calm. Isn't that funny? People try to force a calm.
I mean, I want it right now. How come this isn't happening? I'm in the spirituality business. Yeah. I should be able to do this right now.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, the surrender, extreme strength to surrender, because vulnerability goes against the altered ego mind. The altered ego mind is in a constant state of defense and protection, okay? And vulnerability is so terrifying to the altered ego mind. But your soul embraces vulnerability because that's where authenticity lives. So you just got this pull. It is. The battle is the altered ego mind. It is between the altered ego mind and the soul. The good news is the soul will always win. The soul will always win. But to get yourself out of those driving practices, applications that we do in our human experience. We do it for work, we do it for our families, we do it for our communities, we do it for education, because, you know, you got to cram for the test, you know, the night before. And we've really got to step away from that illusion, space of the now, which is eternal. And that's really where you're going to take that lid off the pressure cooker and release steam and just let that settle down and cook and marinate for you. And so always remembering that the strength is in the surrender. For people who are constantly pushing and driving, that could very well be their most profound teaching in life.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, we can also say, like, when we surrender, we are surrendering to our own mastery. So
yeah, yes. Thank you for that. Yes. That is the truth.
There's something really great that will happen. So yeah. So Kasey and Brad, really thank you so much for all the guidance you shared with us. It was really wonderful, as always. I really enjoy having you on the show, learning from you, and really I love your energy and all that you are sharing with us.
Once we get the electronics working, huh? Once we get the electronics working, we're fine.
Wonderful.
Yeah, thank you so much for the great conversation, and thanks to everybody for your wonderful questions. What powerful questions. Yeah. Thank you very much.
All your guests.
Yeah, and thanks for being brave enough to send your questions in, because that sometimes is a little scary for people too. So thanks for your interaction.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Kasey and Brad. And yeah, everyone, I really want to thank you for being here today, for a really wonderful question. It was a really powerful question. So thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time to be here with us and to co-create with us this really wonderful space and sharing with us your energy. And again, I really encourage you to take advantage of the program Kasey and Brad put together for us. And again, the link is yourdivineuniqueness.com/Julius and number 9, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Julius9, JULIUS and 9. Or you can simply click on the special offer button on the webcast or the replay page. And yeah, so with that, sending you so much love and see you on the next call. Bye-bye, everyone.